Thank you for visiting bestbiblecommentaries.com. In this video, I'd like to show you some of the best reviewed commentaries on the book of Luke available today. The first one I'll show you is written by Darrell Bach, and it's his 2-volume commentary on Luke in the BECNT series, or the Baker Exegetical Commentary on the New Testament series. Dr. Bach teaches at Dallas Theological Seminary, which is known for being evangelical, conservative, and also dispensational. Dr. Bach wrote these commentaries in the mid-1990s. However, the information is not outdated. I would describe these commentaries as mid-level, meaning they're on one end of the spectrum, they are not introductory. So a Sunday school teacher or a small group leader who is not familiar with Luke commentaries and is not well read in biblical reference resources would probably not start with these volumes. If they did utilize these volumes, they probably wouldn't maximize the material that Dr. Bach offers in these volumes. On the other end of the spectrum, they're also not technical. So if a student or a professor or a pastor is not proficient in Greek, they will still be able to utilize this commentary and maximize its benefit. If a person is interested in more of the Greek detail and the discussion on modern biblical scholarship, it's found in the footnotes. However, I think pastors and most readers will spend most of their time in the main part of the text, which is quite accessible. Because these are hardbacks and there's over 2,100 pages altogether, there's some of the more expensive commentaries on Luke available today. However, many reviewers wouldn't argue that it's worth, these volumes are so good it's worth the cost. New, they can be $75, $80. However, there is an alternative that I'll mention. Darrell Bach also wrote the Luke volume in the NIV Application Commentary series, which it's not as thorough as this series. It does, however, offer the reader application help, which can be helpful to ministry contexts, and those hardbacks are usually in the $20 to $25 range new. The next commentary on Luke I'll show you is written by James Edwards, and it's found in the Pillar New Testament Commentary series. This series was edited by D.A. Carson, and his intention is that authors would lay an exegetical foundation for the book, and also provide theology insight in a way that's helpful to pastors. And this volume has been well reviewed for meeting those goals. It's one of the more recent major commentaries on the Gospel of Luke, having been published in 2015. Besides the exegesis and the theology, one thing reviewers note is that James R. Edwards' writing style is very accessible. So when he writes about matters that might be confusing to some, debatable issues or controversial passages, he writes in a way where the reader can easily follow. Again, the target audience for this particular commentary is pastors, and many volumes in this series have been well reviewed for ministry contexts. The next commentary on Luke that I'll show you is written by I. Howard Marshall, and it's found in the NIGTC series, or the New International Greek Testament Commentary series. This is on the opposite end of the spectrum of introductory. It is a technical commentary, meaning that Howard Marshall is actually commenting on the Greek. So if a reader is not proficient in Greek, they will not maximize the use of this commentary. One thing that reviewers note is that instead of providing information in footnotes, Howard will provide the notes, those kind of notes and details in the body of the text. Some reviewers have noted that it makes it a little bit more difficult to read, but if someone is used to reading a technical commentary, I think that they would do just fine with this volume. Even though it was published in 1978, it's still considered by many to be the best technical commentary available on Luke today. And having read portions of it myself, I would also say that there are many places where I. Howard Marshall writes in a very memorable and rich way, so much so that I think that there are sections that can even be quoted from the pulpit or in a ministry context. He makes it so simple yet profound. He communicates in ways that are so simple and so profound. The next volume on Luke that I'll show you is from the NICNT series, or the New International Commentary on the New Testament series, written by Joel B. Green, who is also an editor of the series now. This particular volume has been well reviewed for its literary approach to the gospel. There is information on history, theology, some of the cultural customs of the day, as well as some insight for ministry context. However, Dr. Green majors on the literary structure and literary insight regarding the literary structure and nature of the gospel. The next commentary on Luke that I'd like to show you is written by David Garland and is part of the Zondervan Exegetical Commentary on the New Testament series, or the ZECNT series. This is one of the most well-reviewed recent series available. Volumes are continuing to come out, and many of them are receiving excellent reviews, and Garland's is as well. The target audience is it's really everyone. Professors can utilize this. Pastors will be able to utilize this. Students will be able to utilize this commentary, partly because each passage of Scripture is divided into 7 different sections. Some are more exegetical in nature, and others are more application in nature. So depending on your purpose for a particular commentary, you would spend more time in certain ones of those 7 sections. This has been very well reviewed so far, and I think soon it will be considered one of the best available Luke commentaries available today. So why isn't it right now? Well, one of the factors in commentaries being considered one of the best is simply time. Pastors need to use them, readers need to review them, professors need to utilize them, and as that happens more and more, the commentary gains reputation. So that's why I say that I think in a matter of time, this volume will be considered one of the best available on Luke today as more and more people use it. One of the more popular commentary series in the last 30 or 40 years is the Expositors Bible Commentary series. This is one of the original volumes, but there's also a revised edition. The originals were written in the 70s and 80s mostly. The revised edition, most volumes came out in 2007 or give or take a year. The Luke volume in this series was written by Walter Liefeld originally. In the revised 2007 edition, Liefeld's commentary has been revised by David Powell. So you will see Luke in the revised edition with 2 authors, Liefeld and David Powell. Like other commentaries in this particular series, this commentary on Luke is more introductory in nature. It would be great for Sunday school teachers, small group leaders, Bible study leaders. Pastors will also be helped by this commentary on Luke. This is one of the more interesting commentaries on Luke that I'll show you. It's by Luke Timothy Johnson, found in the Sacropagina Commentary series. What's interesting about this commentary to me is that it really doesn't please anyone completely, yet it's received good reviews from the liberal, moderate end of the theological spectrum to the conservative theological end of the spectrum. There's reviewers in both camps that have given this commentary good reviews. The interesting thing about it is that it doesn't please either camp altogether. If you're reading this book and you're on the moderate liberal end of the spectrum theologically, you're going to find things in here that you love, and you're going to find things in here that you disagree with. If you're on the conservative theological end of the spectrum, you're going to find things in here that you love, and you're going to find things that you disagree with. So I think that makes it very interesting. Nevertheless, it's considered by many to be one of the better commentaries on the book of Luke for the approach that it takes. So it takes a literary approach to the gospel, similar to to Joel Green's in the NICNT series. Luke Timothy Johnson takes a literary approach to the gospel, and this was published in 1991. So it is a little bit dated now, but it has received very good reviews from very different theological camps in the last 30 years. The next one I'll show you is by Robert, is the Luke Commentary in the New American Commentary Series, NAC series, written by Robert H. Stein. If you are familiar with the BECNT series, Robert Stein also wrote the Mark volume in the BECNT series, so you might recognize the name from that work. The NAC series is a little bit dated now, but pastors will still find it helpful. It's more on the introductory to mid-level end of the spectrum as far as commentaries go. I think that Sunday school teachers would do fine with it. Bible study leaders would do fine with it. They might not be able to maximize the information, but they would find it helpful. The NAC series is written by Baptists with a Baptist theological perspective. It's not at all technical, so if a person has never been to seminary, or Bible college, and doesn't know Greek, they will still do just fine with this commentary. It's conservative, it's evangelical, and it's been well reviewed over the years. The next one I'll show you is Luke in the Word Biblical Commentary series. One thing that sticks out immediately is that there are 3 volumes to this Luke commentary in the Word Biblical Commentary series, making it one of the longest commentaries in this particular series. John Nolan takes an approach to the text that is heavily centered on biblical scholarship. I think that the target audience for these 3 volumes, I'm just showing you the 3rd one, by the way. The target audience for these 3 volumes will mostly be professors. I don't think pastors will be as helped by these volumes as some of the other ones that I've shown you. So with regard to its interaction to biblical scholarship, it's been well reviewed. Reviewers have also noted that as far as ministry contexts go, it might be helpful if you have a desire to use this commentary. It might be helpful to supplement it with a commentary that's helpful with regard to making the text relevant to today and offering application help to readers today. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I thank you for visiting Best Bible Commentaries, and I thank you for watching this video on commentaries on Luke. Thank you for visiting Best Bible Commentaries.